On behalf of Congregation Beth El-Keser Israel, better known as BEKI, with humility, we'd like to thank you so much for this wonderful award, which honors the legacy of John S. Martinez, a man of generosity and compassion. It was about 11 years ago that BEKI began participating in Abraham's Tent as a partner organization. I went about organizing the volunteers, drafting guidelines, and preparing the meal that we'd bring over to the Church of the Holy Spirit in West Haven, where the program participants were staying. Just a side note, we've been partners in this effort with that church for the last 11 years, even though we are now physically hosting Abraham's Tent for the last 5. We're proud that about 75 people from our community work with us in support of Columbus House and the Abraham's Tent program.
My participation with Abraham's Tent has been wonderful, and I think probably I get more out of it than the people I serve or am trying to serve.
We have learned so much from the guests who have shown us how to be resilient in the face of so many struggles that many of us have not had to face in our life, different challenges in the world. And our group at BEKI, we've gotten to know each other better through getting to know the guests as well. It's been wonderful sharing all around.
But part of what I really love about being part of this is that we're meeting new people in a more extended interaction opportunity. And so instead of just handing out food or handing out some item and giving a smile and a handshake, what I really love is waking up early. I'm not particularly an early morning person, but waking up early and going to our synagogue to make breakfast for these people that we have welcomed into our community, and then sitting with them and eating breakfast and hearing their stories and learning about them and telling them about me and telling them about my kids and hearing about their kids. And it's really just so wonderful every year to see them come out of their shells and talk to us and really develop friendships.
I realized that sitting down to simply eat together with the participants or have a conversation with these guys scared me. I wasn't physically afraid. I was afraid of being trivial or boring or a perceived lack of my own shared experience, and most of all of unconsciously speaking from my own privilege and thereby inadvertently being hurtful to someone. Altogether just too much in my own head. But then I saw one of our youth group kids, a 13-year-old girl who had come along, sit down at a table right in the midst of several guys, ask about their day, share a story from school, joke about the horrible weather, comment on the soup, all with no hesitation, and then take the time to listen intently to what they had to say. In one moment, I was both humbled and inspired to sit with her, with them, quietly following her example and finally beginning to break the barriers of my own insecurities, opening me up to a new way to see others, to act, and subsequently to lead by her example.
There was a gentleman there one year. He was a roofer. And, he had a wife and a daughter, and he's working full time, tradesperson. I have friends that are actually roofers, they could be in the same position. He fell off the roof once and ended up in a body cast. And while he was in a body cast, his wife and daughter had a car accident and passed away. And things just went downhill for him from there. But he's a human being. And I know people who were in his position before he fell off the roof. It could happen to anyone. So participating in Abraham's Tent is a wonderful experience. You meet some fine people, and at the same time, you learn about humanity and you learn how close you are connected to them, and how everybody's the same in that regard, and it could be anybody.
I want to thank the men from Abraham's Tent who demonstrated clearly to me their resilience in the face of adversity, such as financial stressors and familiar stressors. They also said to me on more than one occasion that the hope we provided and the friendship that we continue to provide beyond the time they stayed at BEKI is incredibly crucial in their transition to permanent housing. It is my hope that they become permanently housed in the near future, and I want to thank them for their friendship. Continued best wishes to them, and thanks again.
And I would participate in Abraham's tent for as long as I can. It just benefits me absolutely as much or more than anyone else that I'm there to serve. So, I really appreciate the program. I think it's good for everybody that participates in it.
Thank you, Columbus House, for your important work, for helping not only your clients see new pathways for their lives, but also giving us all opportunities to see new pathways for our own. We're all in it together.